Well, I hate to interrupt your breakfast, guys, and all your conversations, but I'd just like to say thank you for coming. Welcome to everybody. So let's get into it. So in 2023, as a reimagined version of Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory hit movie theaters, we were reintroduced to the beloved world of pure imagination that some of us first came to know back in 1971 when the original Willy Wonka movie first came out. The reboot was everywhere, with ads popping up on our phones, the trailer playing nonstop on our TVs, and the poster prominently displayed on Main Street outside the wonderful River Falls Theater. As the city of River Falls, all those images of Timothy Chalamet, I got it right, and a big Wonka hat got us thinking. A world of pure imagination doesn't have to be accessible to us just on a movie screen. Along with our valued community members, all of our partners, we're already channeling our imagination to build a world of innovation and wonder right here in River Falls. And with that, I welcome you to the 2024 State of the City address, where this year we celebrate a city of pure imagination. Usually I come up here as you're finishing up your breakfast and I'll introduce all the individual groups, our city council, our staff, our business community, and all of our wonderful volunteers that help make this a great community. Then we clap and acknowledge each group for the role that they have played in our community's accomplishment over the last year and all the great things they have done. This year we're going to try something different. I don't want you to stand up as groups, and instead I want everyone to stand up as one. We don't accomplish our goals and ambitions by working separately behind closed doors. We accomplish big things because we open our doors, we invite each other in, and we work together to first imagine these big things, and then we set out to accomplish them. So as right now, if everybody could all please stand together. Now I want everybody to look around together in the room. As one, we are a vibrant, innovative, ambitious, compassionate, and welcoming community. We are committed to putting our heads together and using our pure imagination with an emphasis on dreams to foster a city where everyone can thrive. Thank you for joining us in the work. Now I'll turn it over to our city administrator, Mr. Simpson, who will present the State of the City address to all of us and tell us all the great, wonderful things that are happening here in River Falls.
You're welcome. Thank you. Thank you, Mayor, for the warm welcome, and all of you who are here today among the giant lollipops and mushrooms. Lucky for you, I'm not in costume, which means I won't be singing today. If you were thinking that was a possibility, that's just for church and I guess fifth grade choir. So. Before we begin, I'd like to thank Catherine Paquette, the city's communications coordinator, for conceptualizing and planning this event, and IT and other staff who helped bring it together today for us. I'm always amazed at what we can do on our small budget, and it helps to have a great facility. So thank you to all the staff that had a hand in putting this together. I just had the occasion to go meet with the fire department. I do that on occasion, at least once or twice a year as a group. And I realized, looking out across that fire department group, that even though I've been here 15 years, I knew about half of the firefighters now. So maybe you're feeling the same way, or there's others that are watching this that aren't sure who I am. So I want to share a little bit about myself. I'm happy to see lots of familiar faces. That makes this a little bit easier for me. But if we haven't had the chance to meet, a small introduction. I've had the opportunity to be a steward of our beloved city since 2009. It's a role I've been honored to fill. And in my journey as a city administrator, I've been able to embrace the challenges and opportunity of leading this innovative, proactive, and ever-changing community. My goal is to help it reach its full potential. And I have a lot of help from the city council and the mayor and all of you in helping me understand what you believe is the potential of this community. With a population of nearly 17,000, which includes thousands of students, our city hums with a vibrant energy and an innovative spirit. Managing an annual budget of about $40 million and leading over 125 full-time employees, I've had the privilege of working in the city that boasts comprehensive public services, including an electric and water utility, award-winning library, diverse park system, a lively downtown, and thriving corporate parks. Life at home is lively too. It's a loving lesson in patience. Thanks to my wife, Rachel, and our 4 children, ages 13 to 20. They ensure our lives are filled with endless adventure and learning. And as I address you today, I'm reminded of the trust you placed in me and the responsibility I bear to ensure that our city not only grows but flourishes. So I thank you for that. In the whimsical world of Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, when Charlie discovers the 5th and final golden ticket, he and Grandpa Joe break into song, "I'd have said it couldn't be done, but it can be done." Now that sentiment, that spirit of possibility, is central to who we are as a city and a community. Right now, you're sitting in what used to be a Shopko just 5 years ago, where we once strolled the aisles for shoes and DVDs. Now a bustling destination distillery produces 200,000 gallons of spirits a year, where we come for dinner, drinks, concert, markets, meetings, and more. When we conducted our 2023 community survey last summer, you told us that economic development was a top priority, and pure imagination fueled our efforts at the city in 2023, none more than in the realm of economic development. So in the next 20 minutes, I'll share with you how our city council, dedicated city staff, and valued community partners are using pure imagination to build a strong local economy and a highly livable community. There's no earthly way of knowing which direction we are going. Now that's an infamous line where Willy Wonka leads Charlie and the rest of the group on a boat ride through a tunnel of terrors. Now unlike that scene where the characters are tossed into the unknown without a sense of where they're going or when the tunnel will end, we know where we're going. As a community, we've charted our path together. In March 2023, the City Council adopted the comprehensive plan, a bike and pedestrian plan, and an outdoor recreation plan. And these plans were born out of an 18-month Focus River Falls initiative, which created a strategic framework to guide the City Council's action for the next 2 decades. Focus River Falls came on the heels of the Kinney Corridor Plan, which was adopted in 2018 after a 2-year planning process. And that plan announces a vision of the Kinney Corridor that provides economic opportunity, connects residents and visitors to nature, and strengthens our sense of place. These plans serve as a testament to the power of collaboration, showcasing how our community can come together and realize a shared vision. In 2023, that vision began to transform into reality as our actions were guided by these plans. Our plans are golden tickets to a city of pure imagination. As Willy Wonka's empire continues to grow with each new confection he creates, his enterprise undoubtedly enhances the local economy. Similarly, new developments in the city will further strengthen our economy here in River Falls. In September 2023, we held a groundbreaking ceremony for Man Valley Corporate Park. This expansive park signifies an entirely new chapter of economic development for the city of River Falls. The site's concept plan includes 200 acres of light industrial and manufacturing, over 60 acres of conservancy, 40-plus acres owned by the school district for institutional use, and 10-plus acres for multifamily development. The journey to bring Man Valley Corporate Park to life began when the city was contacted by Riverbank in 2010 about purchasing some or all of the 300-plus acres it owned. And in January 2011, the City Council approved the purchase of 85 acres, and they asked for an option for the remaining acres, which we then purchased in 2013. Now, right now, the largest lot outside of Man Valley is about 7 acres. And since 2017, city staff have responded to more than 30 requests for information seeking businesses that needed more than 10 acres of land for their development. So this development of Man Valley, where the largest lot is over 150 acres, will be critical to addressing this demand. So I want to recognize our council members, past and present, for their forward thinking in seizing this opportunity, and frankly, their dogged persistence in working over a decade to bring it to life. Remember that moment when we got our first glimpse at Willy Wonka's factory? Charlie speaks with a mystery man on the sidewalk who says, "Nobody ever goes in and nobody ever comes out." Like Wonka's factory, Man Valley Corporate Park is sure to contain many wonders, complementing the efforts of our communities and amplifying its impact with the advantage of the transparency that the development by a local government provides you. Last September, UW River Falls held a groundbreaking ceremony for the Science and Technology Innovation Center, nearly 75,000 square foot research facility that we can all see going up on Cascade. This is going to provide high impact learning experiences in the sciences. And as construction kicked off on SciTech, Chippewa Valley Technical College held a ribbon cutting for its brand new South Education Center. Now, this newly renovated building brings new opportunities for enhanced workforce training for students with state-of-the-art welding, lab, and more. In addition to UWRF and CVTC, our community has benefited greatly from its sustained and significant investments in the River Falls School District over the years. The recent referendum success continues that investment. It further strengthens our educational institutions and aids in our economic health. The talent pipeline that emerges from these educational institutions is key to the success of our community. When businesses begin to open their doors in Man Valley, they will find an abundant pool of talent, thanks to the exceptional education and training provided by UWRF, CVTC, and the River Falls School District. Now, while Man Valley will offer new employment opportunities for our local talent in River Falls, it will also offer space for the imaginative entrepreneurs in our region, all of our local Wonkas. They're plugging away, thinking up the next big innovation. And a lot of those folks are working within the walls of the St. Croix Valley Business Innovation Center, which celebrated its 5-year anniversary in 2023. Now, the Innovation Center was founded in 2018 by 4 partners: the city, River Falls Economic Development Corporation, the University of River Falls, and Chippewa Valley Technical College. It has been helped along the way by many of you in the community, generous donations of time, talents, financial support, and your expertise in your area of business. This really is a shared success story. During its first 5 years in business, the Innovation Center aided in the creation and retention of nearly 250 jobs, with a total of $33 million worth of investment in our local economy. And as of 2023, there's been over 20 business leader graduates from the Business Incubator program. Soon, Man Valley will join our other business parks, our Main Street corridor, welcoming new groundbreaking businesses imagined by local entrepreneurs looking to grow roots in River Falls. Now, I've talked a lot about new opportunities that will arise when Man Valley Corporate Park takes shape, but I do want to emphasize that the future of economic development in River Falls is not just Man Valley. We are fortunate to have a thriving business community, from businesses in our other 3 corporate parks to those in our downtown and the Main Street corridor. These businesses shape our identity. They make River Falls not just an exceptional place to live, but also a destination to visit. In 2023, several new businesses opened their doors, including BOH Electrics, Dunkin' Donuts. Construction began on a multi-tenant industrial building in Sterling Ponds, on Starbucks on Main Street, on Jenkins offices on 2nd Street, Loctite Storage on Old Chapman Road. In 2023, Swinging Bridge completed a big expansion, and 2024 will bring more expansions like Lund's Fly Shop and Novak Eye Clinic. A thriving local business community has been at the forefront of the City Council's concerns, and it will remain a priority. In Willy Wonka, we don't have any idea how he got all the money needed to build this big operation, his empire. We don't know how he was able to develop all the infrastructure needed or where all his workers found housing. Bringing the community's long-range vision of River Falls to life requires not only pure imagination, but also a lot of planning and logistics and hard work. To support new development, we need a strong financial capacity, high-quality infrastructure, and suitable housing opportunities. Since 1911, local governments have relied on a partnership with the state government to deliver a share of the state income and sales tax back to the cities to fund local services. Now, over time, the state has kept a larger and larger portion of these and returned less back to the local communities in which the revenue was derived. In recent years, the state legislature, including Representatives Zimmerman and Petrick, and Senators Smith and Staff Schultz, have sought to address this inequity and reinvest in our local communities. I'm happy to say, thanks to their support, the state of Wisconsin has updated its formula after 50 years. Governor Evers signed AB 245, also known as the Shared Revenue Bill, and that bill dedicates 1 full penny of state sales tax revenue to local communities. That amounts to about $500,000 in additional state aid to the city of River Falls each year. Initially, much of that money is set to be used for roads and for fire station improvements. And we want to thank our legislative partners for helping to bring this much needed change to fruition. And I'd just like to give a round of applause. When land is developed, new buildings go up in the city, we expand our infrastructure accordingly. New development can mean an increased need for investment in electricity and water, sewer, new and improved roadways, and more. In 2023, we reached new heights when we constructed a 150-foot tall, 500,000-gallon water tower in the Whitetail Ridge Corporate Park. Now, this project included a North Loop utility extension, which is about a 4,000-foot extension of looped water main and sanitary sewer. Together, the water tower and the extension of enhanced water system reliability in Whitetail Ridge and Sterling Ponds. They will also provide water availability for new development on the community's west side. Now, the water tower wasn't the only major change to our infrastructure in 2023. Just before the holidays, the city and the Wisconsin DOT completed an extensive maintenance project on Powell Avenue Bridge. That involved a total replacement of the bridge deck. It took several years to secure grant funding, prepare design, and work with adjacent property owners, not to mention being concerned about the trout, the owls, the bats, the eagles. And I think we did a good job. Thanks to the partnership with the state, we were able to get that bridge back in good shape and open before winter. These were 3 massive projects completed in 2023. They exemplify the City Council's commitment to well-planned development and growth. How about housing? I better get a drink of water before we start this one. Providing housing units for a growing population is a challenge that communities across the country are grappling with. It's a complex issue. It's influenced by several factors. Last year, I talked about the housing study update, which showed that we were well below the national average and the national target. Even for housing availability, we have less than a 1% vacancy rate. The study also revealed River Falls needs a significant number of affordable housing and senior housing units to meet our population's need. In fact, we have a shortage of virtually every type of housing in all price ranges. I do want to point out when the consultant presented the study, they reminded us that most housing types are connected. So that means added units of any housing can impact even the least expensive unit availability. So the road to more affordable housing is not just traveled by building new affordable units. We likely need overall supply increases to have the greatest impact. There's no quick fix. We can continue to bring the number of new housing units up, and we did so in 2023. If it seems like we're adding a lot of units, we are. Just currently permitted projects, we expect over 150 new units in 2024, and that's after adding 700 units over the last 3 years. In the past few years, the council approved support for incentives to include affordable units within recent residential developments. They've also supported projects for senior, veteran, and workforce units. The city continues to work with private and nonprofit developers to address the community's housing needs. And we shouldn't forget that the Housing Authority continues to operate quality, affordable units in River Falls. By practicing smart financial planning, investing in infrastructure, and systematically working to increase housing availability, we've created needed capacity as our city of pure imagination grows and evolves. At the end of Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, Charlie surveys the city from way up high in the best 1971 special effects could provide for a glass elevator. It looks like you might have used that in a moon landing scene also, I think. All around him are limitless possibilities. We are in the middle of our story. So in addition to seeing Man Valley Corporate Park take shape, 2024 will bring advancements for the Kinney Corridor and the city's downtown. Well, we don't have a chocolate river, but what we have in the Kinney is even better. There's rich wildlife, abundant recreational opportunities, scenic beauty. The Kinney is one of the community's greatest treasures. The city continued on its journey towards restoring the natural ecosystem along the Kinney River in 2023 when we founded a partnership with the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers. Last spring, the Army Corps began the study. In November, the agency presented a tentatively selected plan to the City Council. Now, that plan included a very important finding by the Corps, that not only are we interested locally, but there's a federal interest in embarking on a restoration project with the city. And so while the Army Corps works on the final project report, the city continues to explore funding options for the project. The Kinney Corridor Collaborative continues to seek and secure private contributions. And we appreciate the advocacy of our federal and state representatives, with a special thanks to Senator Baldwin, Representative Van Orden, Representatives Zimmerman and Petrick, who have worked closely with us on efforts in DC and in Madison. If you didn't get enough planning over the last 4 years and you want to go to more charrettes and fill out more surveys, we're going to have some options for you. In the coming years, we're going to be focusing our attention on planning for the future of the city's downtown with the upcoming downtown plan. So we have a chance as a community to consider ways that people move through and utilize our downtown spaces by analyzing land use and transportation, parking, and more. We're going to identify the strengths of our downtown and opportunities to make it even better. The advancements I brought before you today are a testament of the power of pure imagination. By bringing to life the collaborative vision embodied in the Kinney Quarter Plan and the Focus River Fall plans, and embarking on a new downtown plan, we are writing the next chapter of our story. And as we welcome new venues for innovation like the Man Valley Corporate Park, SciTech, and the CVTC South Education Center, we will maintain our focus on the small businesses that breathe life into our community. By building our financial capacity, expanding infrastructure, working towards widening housing access, we're not just laying the foundation for our city's evolution, we're building a landscape of economic vitality where the only limits are those of our imagination. We are the music makers. We are the dreamers of dreams. That's true of all of us in this room and thousands of our neighbors outside these doors. None of the accomplishments I spoke about today, nor those to come in the future, would be possible without our city council leadership, without city staff efforts and skill, without all of you in this room, and those community partners who weren't here or aren't able to be here today. So I want to thank each and every one of you in this room for embarking on this journey with us. Thank you. Before we wrap up for good today, I want to remind you that our mayor and council are here to serve you. If they want to give a wave across the room, mayor and council. Applause for my bosses, please. They're available by email. We have a pretty easy one for you to get them all at once. That's available to everybody, and I know they check those regularly. You can reach them by sending messages to the email that's on screen. But I do want to encourage you that that's one of the advantages of living in a smaller community is access to the decision makers. So I would encourage you to reach out to them. Thank you all for taking the time to learn a little bit more about the city, and we look forward to seeing you at our other planning efforts and events around the community. Thanks for everybody coming today. Appreciate it.